Good day, everybody.
Hey guys.
Good to see you. How is everyone? So, we are from the Tales from Candlekeep team. My name is Sophie. I'm the marketing and communication coordinator at Become Studios.
And I'm Olivier, the lead game designer on the game.
So, how is your day going? So we have some people here. Hi,
Hey
everybody.
P-Band.
Thank you
How
for
you guys
tuning
doing?
in. So just like every week, we're gonna showcase Tales from Candlekeep. If you are not familiar with the game, what is Tales from Candlekeep?
Well, first of all, you guys must know that Tales from Candlekeep is based on the adventure system board game of Dungeons and Dragons. And specifically Tomb of Annihilation that just came out early this year, or last year, I must say.
By WizKids, right?
Yeah, WizKids made those incredible games, and basically what you guys do is you have a set number of heroes. You don't customize your heroes; they are known and popular heroes from the Dungeons and Dragons universe, and you go ahead, tackle some quests. There's a main story that you guys can follow and uncover, the mystery behind the death curse on the island of Chult. And you must end as heroes this curse. But you go through different adventures, and you have also side quests that's different from the board game, because the board game has 13 quests or adventures. And we, as a video game developer, wanted to implement some side quests in there so you guys can, go through different gameplay and, farm a bit of crafting materials, because we have crafting in this game, which is different also from the board game. And what crafting does is basically you can craft stronger items for your heroes that lets you tackle harder and harder difficulty adventures, basically.
Right. Hey, we have a question from PB and Jotter.
Question: I purchased the digital deluxe and got the character DLC, but I didn't see the 20k gold. And how do I know if I'm getting the 50% gold XP gain?
Okay, the gold is automatically added to your account, so if you have gotten the DLC, you have the gold. As for the XP bonus, go into your options menu here in settings. Oliver will just show that to you.
You want to just let
full
game?
We gotta tap back out here. You got it?
Tab. Yep.
Let's go into the game screen and then we'll show you how to do it. So you're into the options menu right here, and you can see if it's checked or not down in the DLC bonuses.
Down here you have, so you can, if you want, you can just remove them if you think the game becomes too easy. But you guys wanted to have some sort of boost sometimes, and but you can always turn it off right here down in the screen, the option screen.
You're welcome. And by the way, today, just like every live stream, we have giveaways for you guys. So we have one base game. We have all of the DLCs, but there's something special this week, only on Dragon Plus. So if you get your phone and go on the Dragon Plus app, you can get the Ashara's DLC for free, and only until tomorrow, 12 PST. So be sure you go onto Dragon Plus app. It works on Android and iOS worldwide. So you go and get your Ashara DLC for free. Be sure you don't miss out on that promotion while it's there.
Definitely go get your Ashara stuff.
So for today, we won't be giving Ashara's DLC since she's free for the promotion. But we have other DLCs, and we also have the base game for you guys.
Hey, Silver Lumiere.
Hello.
All right, so let's jump in.
Let's do it.
All right. So today, we were planning on going through some of the side quests, because we've seen a lot of, main quests of the storyline, but we haven't seen a lot of side quests. Basically, they are shorter and less complicated quests that let you get crafting materials and other stuff like that. But they also have their little narrative flavor to them. So it's interesting to see what our heroes do between the story quests.
And as you were saying before, those are quests that are not in the board game, so it gives you like extra content, extra lore to the board game.
All right, so I think I want to go in some of the first ones. Eruption, Monster Safari. We've done that one before, I think. Vengeful Dead.
Oh, we've announced something today.
We do?
The release date of Kawasha. So I'll let you give the spoils here.
Right now? Nah, let's wait until
Let's wait.
later.
Okay, Kawasha is coming soon, and we'll give the date later.
Yeah, so if you guys stay tuned, you'll get to know when Kawasha's coming out.
Unless you've checked the news, but maybe you don't know it yet. But he's coming out.
All right, so let's get...
Jotter was just typing that question.
Yeah, we can read into your mind.
Yes, that's what Canadians do.
All right, so let's go with this one. Prayer to Merkel. The influence of Merkel, the Lord of Bones, is strong in Bala. Even though he's not your deity, you should buy peace by making him an offer. So let's see what that means. All right, so are we going with 5 heroes or less than that? Because the game is playable with up to 5 heroes. In the board game, you can have four of your friends sit around a table, choose your spells, choose your hero, throw some dices.
Yeah. And what's the main difference of playing one hero versus 5 heroes?
Well, the main difference basically is that you get much less encounter. You explore slower, but you get less encounters and also less monsters. So the game automatically balances itself the more heroes you go through the game with.
Silver Lumiere has a question over on D&D Twitch. I noticed there is a new D&D class called a Blood Hunter. Have you looked into it? I personally have not. I don't know if you have.
No, I've not either, but that's something pretty interesting.
It's a Matthew Mercer creation, they also say. Awesome.
Oh, Matthew created that. That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. That's great.
This guy.
Full of talents.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so I think I'm gonna go with only...
Yeah, critical role. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Okay, so let's go with Kawasha because we haven't seen him a lot.
So solo Kawasha.
Solo Kawasha?
I don't know, up to you. Maybe we can keep that for next week.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So I always like to have Shara. Yeah, so since Shara's free this week on Dragon Plus, let's show her. And I don't know if some of you guys that have the game do that, but it's kind of weird because I use that wizard as a tank.
I know that's what you were gonna say, but I do as well.
Yeah.
Fire shield as tank.
All right.
So good.
And let's go with Birdsong because I think she's underrated.
PB in chat wants you to take Dragonbait.
Dragonbait?
He's beast.
He's a beast. Okay. Dragonbait, 4 heroes. 4 heroes. Birdsong, okay. Just go the spells real quick. So like I said before, we give you some powers that you can choose from to build your class. It's not actual character customization, but you have a number of powers that you can choose from, but you have limited space or slots to set your powers for your heroes. So right now I can see with Ashara that I have at-will powers. I won't go through the explanation of the meaning of at-will, utility, and daily because I'm pretty sure most of you guys know what that means.
It speaks for itself by the name. So.
Yeah. But basically, those are my go-to spells that I can use at every turn. So there's every hero has a trait, which means that they have a given or forced at-will power. So I can't remove that one. I have to go with the Acid Splash as my main at-will power, but I can choose another one for my second at-will power. So I have the choice between Chromatic Orb and Witch Bolt. Witch Bolt is pretty great because it has a somewhat lowish attack, not like Chromatic Orb, but basically once you hit your target, every time you use that power again on the same target, it hits automatically. So against bosses, that's pretty far.
So it says if this attack is targeted on the last enemy it hit, the attack hits automatically.
Yep. But I have a preference for Chromatic Orb just because it looks so good in game.
I know.
All right, so Mage Armor, that's a given. And also my Fire Shield. And Haste is pretty good as a utility because you can give yourself or another of your allies in the game an additional action. So, in the last stream, I think I was with you in the last stream. Last time I was here, and I had a complete brain fart where I could have used Haste as to finish the quest earlier, but one of the guys in the chat just told me that I should have used that, and I completely forgot.
We sometimes just like, and also on stream, we have focus on chat, which by the way, we have a question, and I think it's great to mention it. We're probably going to talk about it again and more next week, but Idol Champion team is coming out with Birdsong in their game.
Oh, really?
So Birdsong from Tomb of Annihilation is also coming out on Idol Champions. We do have plans to showcase Birdsong and talk more about Idol Champions, but yes, I think it's amazing that they have Birdsong coming out. Yeah. I'm really excited.
Because I don't know if you guys know, but Birdsong was created initially by WizKids, that they created for their board game of Tomb of Annihilation. And something that was amazing for us is that Wizard gave us the freedom of creating a bit of her lore and her background, which is kind of a lifetime achievement.
Exactly. Faint Chromatic says, I'm late, but hey, did they give an ETA on Kawasha DLC date? So we will let you know today. So we are going to play one game, and then whenever Olivier is ready to give the date, it's all yours.
Let me go through my powers, okay? Just Compel Duo, Grievous Strike. Grievous Strike is pretty strong. Okay, so Birdsong, so Song of Rest. I won't go through every powers because there's a lot of them, but you'll see when I go through the game. I'll try to explain a bit what each of them do. And Kawasha, so straight, Produce Flame, not too sure about that. Torn Whip is pretty great. Bark Skin, good berry. Some healing is pretty cool too. And speed, maybe not in that quest though.
PB asks in chat, how big is BCom? So the studio is about 80 to 90 people that we have, but we're not all working on Dungeons and Dragons. So how big would you say the D&D team was to make this game?
I think that we were somewhat around 20 people. Well, there were some people that came in to help and then left, but the core team, I think it was smaller than that.
10 to 15 full-time, perhaps. So I hope it answers your question.
Okay, so let's go with that. Do I bring Artis? He's kind of lonely in there.
That's up to you.
Oh, yeah. I just can't leave him behind.
Let's bring lonely Artis. The Blood Hunter is a Warlock Ranger with other classes mixed in.
So is that somewhat of a... Did they give a name for somewhat of an hybrid class? Yeah. Or was that completely created by Matthew? Or if you guys can answer that, that would be great.
We want to know. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm starting with Artis right now. So you guys can see that white outline out there. I'm sorry for you guys that already have the game, that know everything about it. I'm just gonna go quickly through some of the basics of the game because some of you guys might not know all of this, and it's always good to.
I agree. Yeah.
Also for myself. Okay, so right now I'm starting with artist. This is my the guy, well, the character that got the higher initiative, because we have an initiative throw at the beginning of the quest, and artist got the higher number. Right now, right down here, you can see in the log that artist got 19, so he's the first to start. So right now I have all of those icons right here are my phases. So in the game you have, in the board game there are 3 phases, but for comprehension matters, and just to make the game a bit clearer for the newcomers, we added an additional phase, which is the encounter phase. The encounter phase in the board game takes place in well, at the beginning of the villain phase, if we can say, but we separated it from that, so you guys really understood what happened between the exploration phase and the villain phase.
Makes it more simple, I believe.
So right now I can see that I am playing with artists. This is my hero phase. I have 2 actions available. What I can do with that, I can move or take an action. Taking an action means making an attack, or disarming a trap, opening a chest, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna move to explore, and to explore I have to end my hero phase on the edge of a tile, which is called an unexplored edge. So I still have an action left. Is there something I can do? I'm just having some trouble seeing my game like that.
There you go.
All right. I could use an item, but most of the items don't cost an action. But right now, this is an attack. I can see that this costs an action.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna do anything more than that. So let's explore with artists. All right.
Oh, what do you have here?
I have a chest, but you can see down here. Okay, so next phase, next turn is with Birdsong, but I'm gonna go through this right here. So this little D8 that you guys can see is our traps, and traps have different effects. You can get hurt by stepping on a trap or failing to disarm a trap, but traps can also contain complex traps. And those traps have, well, like the name says, more complex effects. This can be a natural storm, which stun, and different condition and status that can affect your heroes. So, but also the traps can be empty and have no effect at all, so sometimes you just have to gamble and walk through there.
Go for it.
And I might try to do that, because Birdsong has a special ability which makes her what happened? Did I click?
I don't know.
What happened?
Static.
Whoa! I did not even click the
I know,
mouse.
it's so
what
funny.
Happened?
Magic.
Okay.
Is it you guys?
Magic. Okay. Yeah, but like I was saying, Birdsong has a special ability that lets her, it makes her dodge or disarm traps easier. In the board game, you would have to throw a d20. And you would have to land on 10 or higher to disarm or dodge the trap, but she only has to have 5 on the die, so it's way easier. So can I walk? I can't even walk here.
Yeah, and Sally, we lost in action, so maybe we could fly above with Ishara.
Yeah, we can do that later. Okay, so exploring with Birdsong.
Question for you from PB. So if you hit an unexplored corner, does it open multiple new tiles, since you go in a corner and you have 2 unexplored tiles?
No. In the board game, there's a lot of stuff that's left to the player's choice. Like there are conditions where some multiple monsters would spawn on top of each other. The game lets players place them at their leisure. It's the same with tiles. You would choose in which direction you would want to have the next tile. In our game, it's more random, but we're trying to think of a way to let you guys decide without slowing down the game, the pace of the game, or being intrusive and stuff like that. To just choose, if you land on a corner, right here, for example, you would choose in which direction you would want your next tile to.
So at
to
the
spawn.
moment, I think it's the tile you're looking towards, but I'm not sure. Maybe you can check it out. But you said it was random.
I think so, I think our guys built it.
Random, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so right now it's Dragonbait's turn, and still no enemies in sight. So I'll continue to explore. But like I said earlier, the white grid you see down here. Did I say it? I think I was thinking to say it.
The
but
white,
I didn't.
you started, but you changed. Yeah.
Yeah. So the grid you see down here, the white part of the grid, is where you can move your hero to. And this, well, moving to a square inside the white grid would only cost an action. But you can use 2 actions to move twice your speed if you want. And what I mean by speed is each hero has 4 different stats, including speed, which means the number of square you can move up to. So here Dragonbait has 5 speed, so I can move 5 squares. But I could also use 2 actions to move up to 10 squares. And this is where the yellow part of the grid comes in. So this means that you would use both of your actions to make a full move. So I'm gonna go right here.
Adam, Alex, and Kanako, good to see you guys. After us, by the way, Roll20 has their live stream, so they're lurking in chat. Can't wait to watch you
Hey
guys. PP is another question for you.
Okay.
So if you craft 2 items for the same character slot, like main weapon, if you craft main weapon +1 and main weapon +2, do you get bonuses from both or only the equipped item?
Well, you wouldn't bring 2 chess piece when you explore in D&D. You would have to choose one. So this is the same in our game. If you craft a +1 armor and a +2 armor, it's yours to decide if you want to bring in the +1 or the +2, but you don't have a bonus for crafting both of them.
They don't stack. Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So now a new tile was discovered. A monster spawned on it, but the tile was a challenging tile. Let's talk a bit about that. So we haven't went through the encounters, and some of you guys have been wondering and asking a lot of questions about encounters. They're pretty harsh on the players. They sometimes kick your ass. But there's always a way to counter them and just control them a little bit more.
It's all about the mechanics, because technically the encounters are what makes the progression of your quest.
Yeah, so the game just throws encounters at you to make you move and not stay on the starting tile and just wait for monsters to come to you, and that would never happen basically because the game is not built like that. But encounters sometimes have very specific targets, and sometimes even though you have an encounter in your face, it's not going to target any one of your heroes because they're not part of the conditions that they target basically. So if you look down here, so yeah, the new tile was a challenging tile. We have standard tiles and challenging tiles. Challenging tiles means that when they're discovered, they call an encounter. And encounters, how they work is that you have, when you don't explore and at the end of your hero phase, you get 100% of the time an encounter. And I think that 80% of the encounters are negative, but you have some of them that are positive.
True.
So that's why you want to avoid encounters, which meaning that you want to explore as much as possible. So the new tile was a challenging tile, and it called an encounter. And the encounter, what is it? It's dark influence. Each hero or an adjacent on or adjacent to an ambush site takes damage. Ambush sites are specific squares on tiles that will spawn monsters in case of an encounter that that does so. So the way to see where are the ambush sites is by that little effect right here. So this is an ambush site. So right now I have dragon bait and bird song. I have more, and I think artist is adjacent. So this is pretty bad. And normally I would have adrenaline to cancel them, but right now I don't have adrenaline to cancel it. Also, there are multiple other effects that lets you cancel encounters, but right now I just can't, and I'm gonna have to get hit by that encounter.
Lundell, welcome to the chat. How's it going? All right, so we had a spawn, and now that you're talking about ambush sites, we have another question on that topic in chat. So are ambush sites a random occurrence, or is it a set amount per mission?
What we tried to do is create the same system as if you would have a pack of cards. So you go through all of your cards. Let's say in the board game you pick a card that's an ambush as an encounter. Once it's done, you would put it in on the side pile or under that pile, so you wouldn't see it again until you went through all of those cards, basically. So there is a set number of cards in the card pile, but once you went through all of those, you would have to go through the entire pile to see them again, and that works the same for the dungeon tiles. Okay, so right now I'm with Ashara, and she got a beating. She got hurt pretty bad by those guys. So I'm gonna use Fire Shield as a buff to get her as tanky as I can, and then use Mage Armor on her as well to give her more AC, which means she will have more armor class, making her harder to get hit. Okay.
Here we go.
All right. So one of her, her trait actually is somewhat of an AoE. This attack also does splash damage to any adjacent monster of your target.
And there is one right next, so.
Yeah, so let's try to do that right
you
now.
just need a 1 roll.
I just need a 1. Okay, so
Good.
if you we can explain a bit why Sophie said that.
Yes.
If you look at your monster's health bar, you can see their AC, because that's the icon for the AC. So they both have 12 AC. And the little 20 die next to it with a 1+ means that I would need to roll a 1 to hit them. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit them.
The odds are good, right?
Yeah, unless they added a 0 to the die, but I don't think that happened.
Let's look at that die.
Okay. So you guys can see the 20 dice rolling up your screen. This is a feature we added because a lot of you guys wanted to see the die roll, but we added, this slows a bit the pace of the game, so we added different options for you guys to tweak your experience. So you can go full out manual control of the die. So when the die starts rolling, you have to click it to stop it. You also have the automatic mode, which once you launch an attack, the die rolls a little bit and then stops automatically. And you can just remove that completely from the game if it's not your game. So.
Do you have a 1? Yeah.
And then, like I said, I need to do a second attack because it's gonna hit the monster right next to it.
Has the date of the druid been announced? We'll announce it at the end of the stream, Steve. And Muffin wants to know, are the game environments mainly outside, or there are areas in buildings or dungeons? So yes, there are dungeon tiles.
So the game takes place in the jungles of Cholt, but at one point in the story, you delve into the Tomb of the Nine Gods, which is the basically the lair of can I say it? A Sararak?
Yeah, you can. It's in the story.
Yeah,
the name you cannot pronounce.
Yeah, it's not Voldemort. Okay, exploring time. So I still have an action left. I killed both of the monsters. I got myself an item. This is going pretty great. So I'm gonna move. Do we want it to show the treasure chest?
Oh, you still have your ace if you want to pick it up. So yeah, I guess we could.
Okay. So I'm using haste right now on myself. This gives me an additional action. So I'm gonna move right here, and you guys will see that Ashara's special ability lets her fly over traps, which you don't even need to disarm or try to dodge. So this is pretty great for going for the chests in your quests. Then additional action, open a chest, and I got myself an Eye of Minute Seeing. This item right here can stack, and once I use that item, I can see the effect of the traps on my tiles. So am I using it right now? I could use it just to show it.
Yeah, very handy.
So I just used a Eye of Minute Seeing, and I can see on the traps that they would deal 4 or 0 damage were I to walk over the traps.
So that's when you would not waste an action point to disarm the trap, since you know it doesn't do anything, you just step over it.
So this is pretty handy. Alright, so nothing more to do. I'm gonna have to deal with an encounter because I'm not exploring at the end of my hero phase, so let's see what happens. Exploration phase, no exploration. And you see the reason why you get the encounter in the encounter card over here. So earlier you saw the challenging tile. That was the reason why, and now it's no exploration. That means that I didn't explore in my hero phase. So that's why I get the encounter. Constrictor Weed. The active hero becomes stunned. So right now you can see that I could interrupt it using adrenaline. And down here, this is the adrenaline rush bar. The adrenaline rush bar is a new mechanic that was designed around the fact that in the board game you could use your XP pile to cancel encounters, but the adrenaline effect, you could choose to use the adrenaline to boost your character stats, which sometimes is pretty handy. But right now, canceling an encounter is a bit more handy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go and cancel it. Kawasha. Okay. So no monsters in sight. I could explore. Let's explore this way because I'm a bit OCD and I want my things to be
all around.
Yeah.
Welcome, CVSF, new here to the stream. Hello.
Hey there. All right, back to Artis. So still no enemies. I'm gonna explore again. So you can see, guys, that there's a lot of exploration in this game, and the dungeons are always different because the way that tiles work is that it's like a card pile, and once you explore, you pick a random tile, and it's placed in the manner of being oriented towards your the edge where you're standing.
Right.
So I'm gonna go right here. Explore again. Still no enemies. I'm pretty lucky in this game, or maybe unlucky, because if you look up here, you can see that's the name of my of the quest with its difficulty, which is hard, and I need to collect 8 intact bones, and to do so, I need to kill skeletons.
You need monsters.
Yeah, I need monsters, and I don't have any right now.
We don't have an official Discord or Reddit. We do use the D&D Reddit. So thanks for the question. We do have Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social medias, though. You can see them on the overlay.
So I got a challenging tile. I got an encounter which was Zabu mushroom spores that made all of the heroes on the tile where I explored. The tile of my active hero get affected by disadvantage. Disadvantage works like in the 5th edition of D&D, which means that for any check you would have to throw twice and keep the worst results on your die. Okay. Birdsong. So with Birdsong, I'm gonna go right here, and hopefully she will dodge the trap.
Cross your fingers, guys. Oh yes.
Dodge. All right.
What did you get?
What do you mean?
She just got. Okay, we didn't see a roll.
No.
Okay.
No. She just she dodged it.
She dodged it.
Yeah.
Oh, hi from Brazil.
Hey, Brazil.
So can I play it online with my friends, or is it a solo game? Do you want to answer that question?
Right now, the game is played only in single player, but we are in the talks of having a multiplayer mode. There is a possibility of having the online multiplayer where you could be at your home and play with your friends at theirs, but you could also have the couch co-op, which would mean that you could play with your friends at your house, which is also a great option because in the board game you can. Yeah, that's what you do. So it's a big challenge, and it costs a lot of money doing that, but we definitely want to give that to you guys.
So in order of priorities from the roadmap, of course, the single player mode first, and then it would be co-op and multiplayer after that. So we'll keep you updated as much as we have information as it goes. But we hope you enjoy the single player version at the moment, guys. By the way, if you don't know that the game is out, it's out already on Steam. So you can go and check out 4 Tales from Candlekeep to Annihilation. It's out now. And hi, Demented Shark. Okay, it's looking good. We need more skeletons, but you found one.
Right now I'm playing with Dragonbait, but I'm still too far to go and hit that one. Well, we can still go over here and maybe take the damage instead of Birdsong because, I forgot there was a trap right here.
It was empty.
But it was empty.
No problem.
Lucky me.
Other people want to co-op and multiplayer, but Steve says he would want to have a new module or content first. So which one would you like, Steve? There are other board games in the adventure system. Would be curious to know if you have a favorite. Demented Shark, any updates? We will talk more about Kawasha's release date at around the end of the stream. And Drakos is just buying the game, downloading now.
That's awesome,
man. Thank you so much.
So, Sophie, what is your favorite? What module would you like to see in the next, in another update or patch or DLC?
I would love to see Temple of Elemental Evil.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your favorite one?
I haven't played all of them. I like Temple more than Dritz.
Okay.
And Tomb of Annihilation is probably my favorite one. So I would say probably Temple. What about you?
Well, I really love Dritz, but I still, I love the universe of Barovia and Castle Ravenloft and all that, Gothic inspired adventures. So
Castle Ravenloft looks amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's one I haven't tried yet.
And the monsters in it are pretty great. You have a big Dracolich, zombie dragons and stuff like that. It's pretty amazing. Okay, Ashara, moving on. I'm gonna go still pretty far. Alright.
P-Base's telling you that's my boy. I think he agrees with you. Thank you, CB, for the wish list. All right.
Okay. So, again, pretty lucky. So this is a positive encounter. There's not a lot of them, but it's kind of a relief sometimes to get one. So shattered tree, nothing happens. So yeah, nothing happens. That can happen.
That's good. How do you get this game? Oh, you head over to Steam. You go on Steam and you look for Tales from Candlekeep, Tomb of Annihilation. The game is down there, and it's out now. So go check it out. Let us know your thoughts.
Am I using my daily?
Why not?
Yeah, okay.
It looks amazing.
So as a druid, Kawasha can transform into wild shapes. And we have two of them in our game, which is the raptor wild shape and also the ape wild shape. So right now I chose earlier the ape wild shape, so I'm gonna transform right now into a big, angry ape. I still have two actions. Oh, I forgot to call Kupalue.
You can. It doesn't. Yeah.
All right. So a special ability of Kawasha is his ally, which is called Kupalue. Kupalue is a Vegepygmy, which is also a race of monsters you can encounter in the game. But this one, well, both of them have a some sort of relationship. A pretty special relationship where they communicate using their own sign language.
Amazing.
And
yeah.
also, Kupalue means walking weed in what's the language? Is that, I think it's Chultan.
It's a Chultan
language.
Yeah.
Language.
So what does Kupalue mean?
A walking weed.
Walking weed.
But yeah, they refer to him as weed normally. Okay, so moving on. So you saw down here that once I transformed, my skill bar changed. So I only have one attack, but only the ape can use that attack. I cannot use this power when I'm in human form, but
Amazing.
I could transform back in human form if I were to, if I wanted to heal my partners or other people in the party. So moving to next to that monster and attacking it with
Here we go.
double punches. So right now I'm affected by disadvantage, but I only need to have 7
So
on my die. So
let's see.
cross fingers. And
Oh,
pretty good. All
very
right.
good.
Okay, so my turn is finished. No exploration again. Poison darts. Attack and stun the active hero. This is not too bad because when I'm stunned, when one I'm gonna say it. Once one of my hero is stunned, I can only use one action on my next turn. This only lasts one turn, but sometimes it can be pretty bad just to have one action left at the start of your turn. So let's deal with that. Artists. So I think I'm just exploring with Artis. He hasn't done a lot right now. I should have left him in the character selection screen.
You should have stayed there.
Yeah.
Don't mind if he's lonely.
Okay, so I'm just gonna show how to disarm a trap. So to disarm a trap, you would need to move next to one of the traps, and with an action point left, you would need to just click on it to interact. You can see that the cursor changes to show you that you can interact with the trap. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah, and again, disadvantage. This can be pretty bad. 6. 6
Oh,
again.
well,
So
here
I
we
needed
go.
to have 10, and it was triggered, but it was empty.
Not bad. All right.
Yeah. Okay. But again, no exploration. Each hero takes damage equal to the number of monsters he or she controls. So this is a great example of an encounter that does not need to be interrupted. In the case of if there's no monster on the board. So right now, no character controls any monster. I can see on the timeline right here that there are no monsters on the board. So I can just skip it, and nothing's gonna happen. And talking about controlling enemies, this is a concept that needs a bit of explaining, because this is taken from as is from the board game.
Right.
Because in the board game, you don't actually play the monsters; they play themselves. They have a set behavior that you go through to that gives you the idea of what you need, what they're doing, and the order of things they're doing. That's a list of conditions. We work the same way in the game, but the way they work to avoid monsters from playing at each turn, this works with a control system. And what that means is that once you discover a new tile and there's a monster on it, the monster becomes controlled by the hero that discovered that tile. Sorry. So if I had, you can see next, if there's a monster, you'll be able to see what I mean by that. But monsters only play during the villain phase of the hero that controls them.
Welcome, Phil from France. And stick around, guys. We have about 10 minutes to go here, and we'll start doing giveaways in just a moment. So we have one base game, 3 DLCs, and as a reminder, Ashara DLC is free right now on Dragon Plus. So go over to Dragon Plus on your app on your phone and go get Ashara's DLC for free. You have until Saturday, 12 p.m. PST. Alright.
Oh, 4 damage. That hurt. Just gonna use a healing potion. Okay, exploring. I should have. Nah, never mind.
You need more monsters. Here you go.
But I could have used my action to open the chest because I was adjacent to it, but completely forgot.
It's not like we need the items right now.
Okay, so moving again with Ashara. I'm gonna bring her a bit more in front because I normally use her as more of a tank. Okay, so nothing more to do. Skipping. Okay, 2 monsters. Ooh, all right. So this is Kawasha's turn, and like I said earlier, the fact that he was stunned made him lose one of his actions. So right now, the only thing I could do is move him right here.
Good. Oh, Demented Shark is saying, I love watching you guys on stream because not only are you entertaining, but you're also engaged with us.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. We like to engage, answer your questions. And if you have any questions that are left unanswered, that you're wondering, or any content you're looking forward to, let us know in chat. Would love to discuss about it.
Takes damage. Each hero adjacent to an ambush site takes damage. So same as earlier. So are there any ambush site near one of my heroes? So I don't think so. So I could skip that without interrupting and I wouldn't get damaged. So let's see.
Let's test. Oh, Ashara.
Oh yeah, she was standing right on top of one.
Couldn't see with the spell effect.
Yeah. Okay. Artis. Maybe it's his time to finally deal some damage.
Time to shine.
Okay. So moving right here, using his careful shot action. Power. So 12 attack and 3 damage. This is plenty. So just need to have. Oh, I missed. Oh no, I got it.
2 plus 12. No,
oh, yeah.
Right. There's the right amount. Steve is asking, are we thinking of implementing a shop system in the game?
Yeah, this is a pretty good topic because we are in the talk of, we always want to improve the game, and we have a good idea of how we could use a shop in the game. This is only a matter of looking how we could implement it with all the new stuff that's coming, and in what order we would want to have the shop, basically.
Yeah.
In a future update.
All right, so what do you think if I ask the first question while you keep
go
going?
ahead.
So, guys, we're going to start the giveaway. We have 3 DLCs to give. Again, Ashara is free on Dragon Plus. Go and get Ashara if you haven't. So I'm going to ask questions of topics that we have covered in the stream, but if you've played the game, they're pretty easy and basic questions. So, are you ready? I want to see some ready going on in chat, just to be sure you are all set up for winning the giveaway.
So do you have the Facebook chat somewhere?
No, so
okay.
We're all set.
Okay, all right.
Ready. I see ready. Okay, yeah. You guys are awake. Okay, good. So first person that answers the question the fastest gets the key. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna take notes here just to be sure Yeah, here we go. So Artisimber DLC. So you have a Artisimber as a secondary weapon in this DLC, if I recall. Yes, I think that's it. So, and the question is, it's a topic you covered start of the stream. So sometimes in the game, you discover a tile that has an encounter on that tile. What's the name of that special tile? Good luck, guys. See, I took so many notes. I have post-its all over the desk right now. Close, but that's not exactly the name. The name of the tile. It says tile. You're close. Close, but you're missing the ending, right?
Come on, guys. You're so close.
It's an adjective of the tile. Yeah, you're absolutely so close.
Ratio.
Do we give a hint? Do you guys want a hint? It ends with ing tile.
You have the answer.
Come on, let's do it.
Come on, guys.
You got it. Oh.
All right.
Oh. Yes. Okay. So tiling is
does
not.
That count?
Challenging. The tiling is not right, but I wanted the name of the tile. So challenging tile. Dickrath. Okay. So Dickrath, please send us an email. It's ms@talesfromcandlekeep.com. Send us an email saying you've won the Arthas DLC. And do it within the next hour if you want to have your key before the office heads out to the weekend. So send us an email as soon as you can so we can set up the key. Congratulations. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you want to take one of these.
What do we have?
So you have this one. What's the name of this?
Okay.
Okay.
So I talked about it earlier. So on the tiles, there's a specific square that sometimes will spawn monsters during encounters. What's the name of that square?
I'll give you a moment, and otherwise I'll give a hint.
Does that count?
Oh, yes, that works. PB and Jotter, you got it. So ambush, so that's the ambush sites. I wrote ambush instead of writing your name. PB, so PB, same thing. So you win the Birdsong DLC.
Ambushing, balloon spray.
So ms@talesfromcandlekeep.com. All right, next question will be for a Dragon Bait DLC. And it's a pretty easy question. So we have discussed about the type of tiles you have in the game with the environment. So we have two type of tiles. There's a jungle tiles and there's another type of tiles. What are they called? For Dragon Bake DLC. Temple? Nope. Oh, we have one. Elune Spray. Very good. Elune Spray, you win Dragon Bait DLC. Please send us an email, ms@talesfromcandlekeep.com. I point, that's because the email is down there, just under Twitter. You see it. Okay, well, last question for the base game. You want to ask the last question?
So the base game, guys, this is the complete game, right?
Yep.
Without the DLCs.
But the base game, the core
this
game.
is the core game. So this is the big prize. So what question?
The last one here.
The last one. Okay. You might have missed that, but Kawasha has an ally, which is called Kupalue. What does Kupalue mean?
Yeah. I ask you again just to make sure you repeated it. So.
That's why.
So weed, not quite. There's more. Little weed, not quite. It's you're missing the adjective. Do we take that?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So, okay, no. So yes,
Nope.
PB and Judder, you win their base game. The Walking Weed,
yeah.
CVS
PB and
LCT. So PB and Judder, you were the
peanut butter and judder.
Peanut butter and jelly, but that's like, I don't know. It's a math. I saw you last stream when we were here last week, and then it was Felix that was like, "Oh, that's what his name means." I was like, "Oh, that's what it means." So PB, well, you can email us just in one email and get your prize.
Oh, right. PB and J udder. So this is an udder made out of PB and J. Pretty interesting.
Oh, that's deep. I'm not following. It's a kids show. Okay. Well, all right, guys. Our time is running out, but thank you so much for your question. If we did not answer a question or you had other things down your mind you wanted to ask us, email us or leave us a comment on our social media platforms. We'll be more than happy to answer. And before we go, we have a release date.
All right.
To tell you guys.
We have a release date. 2 minutes left. So Kawasha is coming out soon, and the release date for Kawasha is February 15th. February 15th. That's a pretty hard word to say.
Next week. Next week you'll be able to get your hands on Kawasha. So yay, party. We'll be giving you all the information on how you get the DLC and all that when we launch it. Details on pricing and whatnot. So we are gonna give you all that information on Steam. It was a pretty all fun stream. Thank you.
All fun stream.
Okay,
all
well,
right,
that was Sophie and Olivier. I call you Oliver, Olivier. It's like
Ollie's fine.
The English
this works all right.
pronunciation.
Yeah. So this was Sophie and Ollie. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you next week. Have fun with Roll20, guys.